This financial markets update is for October the 4th, 2010. Markets all finished down today. Euro finished down, dollar got a little bounce. Metals pulled back, sugar started to decline more after I called the top last week. Factory orders from August fell slightly more than expected, but pending home sales made a bigger bounce than expected. So that was kind of some news that factored us into the early morning decline, followed by a bounce off last week's lows. I'm going to start by going over the indexes. Dow Jones finished down 78 points. S&P 500 finished down 9. Nasdaq finished down 26. That would be 1.1%. Second came S&P, worst performer, and then the best performer was the Dow today. Euro US dollar finished down about 0.7%. Taking a look at the upgrades and downgrades today. Kellogg got a downgrade from 59 to 54. PFG, that's one of the banks that I highlighted this week that kind of looked like SunTrust. They got a downgrade from 27 to 26 today. And then Blackstone, symbol BX, got another downgrade from 20 to 17. Now all the upgrades I highlighted in green: AT&T 26 to 29, Chipotle Mexican Grill CMG 170 to 200. That's a pretty big upgrade, 30 points. PG&E got a upgrade 20 to 52. Bucyrus upgraded 75 to 80. Accenture 48 to 52. It's a third upgrade in the last 3 days, three trading sessions actually. Netflix got a upgrade from 168 to 186. I'm sorry guys, there's a little error here, but the symbol for Netflix is NFLX in case you didn't have it. And then the last one, RF micro device, symbol RFMD, and this one from 650 to 7. This thing has just been ripping up. Remember, they make the microchips. There's a lot, they have a big business in China, and it's actually getting more in the US as we speak, not only in animals but in human beings. Earnings calendar for tomorrow, it's not very active. The main one to watch out for tomorrow after the close is Yum Brands. Today Mosaic reported, and I believe they missed because the stock was trading down after hours. The economic calendar is pretty light. ISM services, really nothing major till the non-farm payrolls come out this week. I believe it's Thursday or Friday. So we're just gonna look at this. It might apply a little volume to the market since we were a little light today, but nothing major. And now we're looking at the sectors. Utilities finish first. Remember, when we go down, we usually finish in the top 5 with utilities, followed by services and financial. This is good. This is one of the good things I like. I knew financial would be in the top 5. I'm still predicting that towards the end of the week. It would be from healthcare on up. That's where you'd see it. And I really truly believe that. And the fact that the financials were up today on a negative day, that's pretty good because they were really selling the financials before. All last week they were finishing up on the bottom. Now industrial goods were the worst performing, followed by conglomerates and basic materials. Dow Jones hit a low of 10,711 today while closing at 10,751. So the low brought us below August high, but we bounced right off of that. Looking at the S&P now, and the S&P hit a low of 1131.87, which did not get by the August high. We bounced off last week's lows, which is bullish. Looking at the S&P 1 hour time frame, and this 1133.17 is the level that we need to watch, followed by the 1129, which was the August high. Remember, I said all bets are off if we break below 1129.24. Then we'll be looking for 1120. As long as we could hold this S1 and this S2, we'll be all right. If we could come and get a bounce tomorrow and get back up, we need to get a close above 1145 to continue higher. You see the 50s turning down. We're now looking at the Nasdaq. And what I really wanted to show you about the Nasdaq is we held this 2340 level today as support, and we got to close over it. We got to close at 2,344 today. If we slip below this level right here, look for us to come back down to 2309. You see we have a declining 50. If we're going to go and drop below, looks like the S&P would have the best chance of going below the August high first, but the Dow would follow right behind it, followed by technology, because 2307 is the August high. We have a lot of demand in this area, so we should be all right. Right now, I'm short-term bearish, of course, until we could hold over 2370. But right now, it's possible that they're buying this on dips. I'm sitting on the sideline. I'm not adding any positions, and I'm only day trading for right now until I get a serious confirmation with some heavy volume. Later on in the week with the payrolls, we'll see whether we should be long or short. We're looking at the US dollar right now, and we have this long downtrend dating back from about 1 month ago, 3 weeks maybe it was. Anyways, it's connecting this whole way down, and we have the 78.80 as our major resistance level. We got to close at 78.82 today, and the good thing about that is it was above the 50. That's about the only good thing, because when they got to our major resistance level of 78.80, it looks like we got a little selling in there. So right now, what I'd like to see is hold above this level and then continue up and hold that then as support and break out of the downtrend and get a move back up to 79.41. If we fail and get below the 50, look for our low we put in yesterday at 78.22 to be support. But also note this little rally that we did have was on extreme light volume compared to the other days. Looks like every time we're rallying, it's on light volume. Look at this. So I don't know if it's heavy short covering right now. It might be just some people taking profits from being short all the way in the last 3 weeks. If the market does go down, the dollar will continue to decline. Crude finished down about 14 cents today. Not much at all. Looks like it's making a consolidation above this declining trend line that we have dating back from the May high at 87.15. This looks like a bullish consolidation right here. If we could break out of this, it looks like this 82.97 will be a possible move that we make, and that's the high dating back from August. Right now I'm looking at the VIX futures, and I'm going to zoom in for you. Now, right now we're short-term bullish. We're above this level right here, which would be the 50, and we're also holding above this major support of 16.99. We ran up today, we got to our resistance at 17.42, and we pulled back. As you can see, we kept making lower highs, and what we're going to look for tomorrow is if we get above 17.42, we're going to see if we could take out the 17.55 level, and if we could hold above that, look for 18.05 to be the next major level. Let's just see if the VIX could finally hold this support and get going. Okay, I'm looking at the VIX options for you guys just to point something out. This is the puts right here, and this side is the call side. I'll highlight it in green. The calls were way more active than the puts, as you can see. 50,000 just on the October 19 and 18 calls, and the puts were only 23,000. So it looks like a lot more people were opening positions. It looks like 5,000 combined total pretty much for the open volume, and then the puts got about 200, so the calls were over dominating. Alright, I am looking at the VIX October 18 calls, and the last trade was at 55 cents today. Look at this downtrend we've had, and then it looks like all the shorts kind of got suckered out here early this morning. Then they started covering. We went from a low of about 45 cents all the way up to 60. If you had 10 contracts, you just made 15 cents, 150 bucks. And it wasn't a very difficult trade. As you can see, the volume was kind of declining on this little downtrend right here, so that's pretty decent. if the VIX continues up. Keep a look at these. Alright, I'm looking at the Russell 1000 Financials Index, and it looks like we're pretty neutral. If we get above 778, we will be fully bullish, and they could potentially lead the markets higher. So we're going to watch the Riffin pretty closely. Okay, now I'm looking at the SOX Index, and right now we sold off and we made support at 340, and we got a decent bounce off of that. Now we have this long-term uptrend intact still, which is the green one, followed by the short-term uptrend, that is the teal one. As long as we hold this support around this 340 level and keep this uptrend intact, we're still bullish. Remember, I believe this is profit taking that we got when we approached 356 level. As long as the SOX stays bullish and holds these uptrends, look for technology to presume up. Just taking a quick peek at Yum Brands because they report tomorrow, and I just wanted to let you guys know that the calls were a lot more active today. Now, don't take this as any advice that I'm saying buy the stock. I'm just letting you guys know it looks like there were about 2,500 October calls and about 1,200 October puts. So about more than half the puts were bought on the call side today. We've been in a consolidation for about the last 2 weeks. If we could break, we need to break above the high that we put in 46.91, and that's actually an all-time high. Alright, the last one I'm going to look at is Mosaic, only because they reported earnings today. Then I'm done. We had a low back here in July at 37.68. That's what I'm drawing the trend line from, and dating back through the low that we put in September to complete the uptrend. Got broke today. Actually got broke 3 days ago, but today continued down. We put in that little white candle, which was basically just a little short covering. The bulls tried to take control, but they couldn't get above the big day that we declined. And you see this big candle, that's institutional selling. So we came up, we rallied up to the 10, then turned back down, and we stayed declining. If we could drop below the lows we put in 3 days ago, I think the 50 and the 200-day moving average will be tested. 55.87 is where the 50 moving average is at. Now, I don't know if you guys day trade Mosaic, but I'm definitely going to trade it tomorrow. I know there's going to be some nice swings in it, and if you have the right levels, you can make a lot of money. The levels I'm going to watch tomorrow, if some kind of new good information comes out tomorrow, there may be a conference call. I'm not 100%, or they might try to say something to boost the stock back up. Look for us to bounce off 57.07. Potentially get a bounce back up to the 59.76, where about the 50 would be if we stop declining and got a bounce. Now, if we fail and hold below 57.07, I'm going to look for my next level to be about 56.59, and then eventually 55.59. So these are the levels I'll be watching tomorrow. Have a great day trading tomorrow, guys. Good luck.